I will be getting a new camera. The sun start coming out. I will be getting me a new camera for this laptop. I don't like how it's coming out when I look on the YouTube. So, you doing that? It's pretty cloudy today. Looks like it might rain, but little sun cloud coming out. Shalom, everyone. Still chilly though. Shalom, everyone. The sun's starting to come out. I think it was in the whole area, so they've been trying to fix it. I think it cut back on last night, but it might cut back off. So on the Belize side, you might see them, you might not, but they haven't been being able to get on service the last 2-3 days. So hopefully it cuts back on with them, so they could teach the mini saints class, and they could do their little pow talk. She'll probably do today or tomorrow. Thank the Almighty. Cool. I mean, it's a blessing. I might have to switch spots now that it's in my eyes. But praise the Almighty. Feast of Unleavened Bread, day 6. Almost done. Yesterday, so for me to teach a 3:30 class, my time, and they give people time to prep, fill up their gas tank, get their food. You know, you get off work, they got to run all your errands and get ready for the Sabbath. I thought it would be too much to have it for the people, so that's what I did. I was going to make it up with more Zoom calls because it is still a Feast of Unleavened Bread. So, but then the internet was down, so we couldn't do the Zoom calls as well. So, praise the Almighty. Almighty knows what's up. It's a double Sabbath, obviously. So, right as this Sabbath ends, the normal Sabbath ends, we got Feast of the last day of Feast of Unleavened Bread for that Sabbath. Praise the Almighty. We got a double Sabbath. If you can, hit me on the journey. 30 chapters today and tomorrow. It's a double Sabbath. We have 48 hours to get 30 chapters. It's not that hard. Just bang it out. What I do is I'll do 3 chapters an hour. Just do 3 chapters. That way I don't get tired. Come back 45 minutes later. 3 more chapters. Come back 45 minutes later. 3 more chapters. Just 3 chapters an hour. You know what I'm saying? And before you know it, after 5 hours, man, that's 15 chapters. You in the game. You know what I'm saying? Or 5, 5, and 5. And knock out 5, 5, and 5, 15. And tomorrow, the last Sabbath, knock out another 15, 30 chapters. Bam, you're done. You know what I'm saying? So do that and then get a good chunk of the Bible out. The more you read, the more you'll learn of the Most High. You know, so you don't build. The majority of your faith comes through experience in life. Whether this job, opportunity comes, but it wants you to break the Sabbath, so you have to make a choice. Throw your lacking money, and then either you're gonna compromise or you're gonna put the Almighty first. These experiences actually build faith, you know. But to learn and to build your relationship with the Most High, the majority of that comes through reading. When you ask someone, about who was the first king and why did the Almighty pick him, the first king of Israel. You don't get that by praying. You don't get that by experience. You get that by reading the word. Why did the Almighty pick Moses? Why did he pick Moses out of everyone else he could have picked? He picked Moses to lead the people. Why? You're not going to get that by praying. You're going to get that by reading. And as you read, it says Moses was the meekest man upon the face of the earth. He's the most meekest and modest man on the whole planet. The Almighty picked the person that had the greatest long suffering and patience for the people that he could possibly get and gave them to Israel. That way he could lead the people. The Almighty trained Moses in the wilderness, being a shepherd for 40 years, multitude, million plus people, and be a shepherd over these people to get them into the promised land. But you don't get that understanding by praying. You don't get that understanding by reading. By fasting or by the experience. You get that by reading your word. And through meditating, the Almighty could give you deeper understanding of that. But you have to read the word. When people tell me they've been serving the Almighty 3, 4, 5, 6 years, they've been believing in the Bible, but they haven't read the Bible not even one time, then that reflects their relationship with the Most High. There's no way you're going to convince me that you have a relationship with the Most High, but you don't learn of Him. And that's why reading is important. I push reading a lot. Read your word. Take time out of your day and read your word. Just that in and of itself to say, I'm sick from kids, from job, from sleep, from cooking, and I'm setting time so I can read. That's an opportunity. The Almighty could give you something. Whether it's a story you've never read before, or whether He gives you. So, praise Almighty. Oh, to the angel, whatnot. The internet's down, so I don't know if some of the people on the belief side will be on service. They're trying to get it up. It's down in the whole area, so the whole, I don't know, city, half the city or whatnot is down. So I guess people are working on the internet, trying to get it back on. It's been police side hasn't been on service, so hopefully they get back on because they could do the mini saints as well as Sister Whitney and Brother Vince. It's probably going to do like a little pal talk and whatnot on a random topic. I wanted them to get up, so bear with them. So how much time we got? All right, cool. We went past the time. So praise the Almighty. 30 chapters. If you guys could jump with me, 30 chapters, 15 chapters today, 50 chapters tomorrow. There's really no excuse. It's a double Sabbath. There's no reason why you can't get 30 chapters. Set a goal. That's a spiritual goal. Push that. And 30 chapters could be a minimum. Really push, get 30 chapters in, seek the Most High, get into some extra prayer. It's a double Sabbath. Make the best use of this Sabbath because once you get back to starting work, your 40-hour work week or whatever, life comes your way, you may not have this opportunity to, take some. Welcome to True Hebrews United, the Lord Yeshua. Should we love, holiness, instructor, discipleship, Joe Sargent, about to get into the book as usual. This Feast of Unleavened Bread, day 6. Definitely give all honor to the Almighty Yah through His Son, Yeshua Mashiach. Definitely double honor to the apostles, the prophets, evangelists, the teachers, the elders, the bishops, the deacons across the whole planet. And that's teaching this word and persuading people to repent from their sins. Definitely give a respect to judgments, precepts, and ways. It's a tough walk, but keep pressing. All the people on the Facebook and the YouTube, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I want you guys to make it into the kingdom. Do what you need to do to make it into the kingdom. It will be a waste for you to halfway and just do 80% just to go to the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? It's either we go all the way to the Most High, you go all the way to the lake of fire. Don't do 80%, don't do 90%, don't do 95%, just go all the way. Love the Almighty with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, and with all your strength. Give Him the best you got, give Him everything you got. Let these days of unleavened bread let you see, like, dude, do I have leaven in my heart? Do I have bitterness? Do I have unforgiveness? Do I have an anger problem? Do I have a drinking problem? Do I have a lying problem? Like, some people, they be lying. They be lying because they live a lie. They, this is what I'm showing people I am, but this is how I'm really living. You a liar because you're having people going and believing that you have somewhat values or standards or convictions that you don't have, that you're living a life more righteous that you're not living. And some of you guys, all liars gonna have their part of the lake of fire. Whether you live a lie or whether you tell a lie, you ain't gonna make it into the kingdom. So let's keep going. All right, as the title says, praise Almighty. I want you guys to put some questions up there. It seems like it's just a few of us today. Praise the Almighty. Thank the Almighty for anyone that the message board. Looking back to back if you have any questions or any comments, and we can comment on those. So I do want it to be an interactive day. All you people that haven't watched, tune in on the YouTube channel, subscribe. We're trying to get those subscribers up so we can push the live streaming. I really want to go hard on the YouTube as well as the Facebook and do a one good push to save as many souls as I can before I leave Babylon. And then hopefully there's still time for other people to leave, because once I leave, I hope you guys got 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever, where people in the States can still come, still make it out before they say, oh, unless you can't get a passport, unless you do this or do that. And now you got to sin against the Most High before you can leave. So hopefully that it doesn't come for that. Pray that the Almighty give us a little bit more time. So with all that said, just do the talking. Genesis chapter 1. So obviously, as the title says, the false. I'm kind of going to go quick because I keep always here teaching on this and Good Friday and all that garbage. None of that foolishness will stand against the word. So it's all good. So praise the Almighty. Dylan, why it's false and why not to keep it. You might meet someone this year that's never even heard that Easter is false. Never even know. They just thought it was good. They thought Good Friday was good, whatever. So go ahead and give me Genesis chapter 1, verses 1. Genesis chapter 1, verses 1. Yeah, we'll do 1. In the beginning, the Almighty created heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the earth, and the Spirit of the Almighty moved upon the face of the waters. And the Almighty said, let there be light, and there was light. And the Almighty saw that the light was good, and divided the light from the darkness. And the Almighty called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning was the first day. So the evening and the morning was the first day. So the beginning of a day and the end of the day starts at evening. So let's keep going. And the Almighty said, let there be firmaments in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And the Almighty made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And the Almighty called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning was the second day. So we're going to stop right there. So once again, in the evening and the morning was a day. So the day starts at evening, starts at sunset, from evening, from the going down of the sun. If you read throughout the Bible, he explains what evening means from the going down of the sunset. Go ahead and give me Leviticus 23. And I'm just laying the foundation because, Leviticus chapter 23. And we're going to deal with verse 31. Leviticus 23, verse 31. Let's get it. And you shall do no manner of work. It shall be a statute forever throughout your generation, all your dwellings. It's funny. Leviticus 23 talks about all the feast days, and we're on the feast of unleavened bread. So it's dealing with Day of Atonement, I believe, right? It shall be a statute of rest. You shall afflict your souls. In the 9th day of the month at evening, from evening unto evening shall you celebrate your Sabbath. So a 9th day from evening to evening. That makes a day. This clarifies it. And there's more scriptures in here, but I'm not going to exhaust on that topic. But from evening to evening, from sunset to sunset is one day. So when it says, oh, Good Friday and Sunday resurrection and 3 days and 3 nights and whatnot, we're going to get into this because once again, these Christians or these pagan believers, Catholics, whatever, they're doing their day based off of a Gregorian time and not off of biblical time. Their day is different than our day. Our day starts at sunset. Their day starts at 12 o'clock midnight, complete opposite of the Most High. Their New Year starts in the dead of winter. Our New Year starts in the springtime when things grow. You know what I'm saying? So, totally different. They worship on the last day of the week. On the first day of the week. We worship on the last day of the week. Totally opposite. Let's keep going. Now, so John chapter 2, Gospel John chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 18. And for all you people that know this is pretty good. Maybe you could write these scriptures down and you could use these scriptures to show people. Because sometimes you may not know the truth, but you can't scripturally show. And that way you can say, hey, look, 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 and look. See, this is how the Almighty set up. This is the Bible you say you believe in, and this is what the Bible's saying about the Messiah. So John chapter 2, starting at verse 18. Let's get it. He that believeth on him, wrong. That's John chapter, wrong one. All right. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, what sign sheweth thou unto us, seeing that thou from evening to evening 3 days? All right, so let's keep going. Give me Matthew chapter 12. Verse 38. Let's get it. Then certain of the scribes and the Pharisees answered, saying, Master, we would see a sign from thee. And he answered and said unto him, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh the sign, and there shall be no sign given but the sign of the prophet. 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. So once again, he's saying, hey, I'm going to be in there 3 days and 3 nights. Or right here it says 3 nights and 3 days, but it's three complete 24-hour cycles. You know what I'm saying? 3 days, 3 nights, or 3 nights, 3 days. It's 3 evening to evenings. You know what I'm saying? So, amen. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Shalom, shalom, everyone. Thanks for giving a shout out. Praise the Almighty. So it's clear that the Almighty's time is from, I'm just laying the foundation before I break down this false Easter and whatnot. It's clear that the Almighty's time is from evening to evening. There's no dispute in that all throughout the Old Testament. There's no dispute in that. So whenever we read anything in the New Testament, we know it's off of the Almighty's time and not no 12 o'clock midnight. When it deals with the time of the year, we know it's off of a Hebrew calendar or a lunar calendar and not off no Gregorian calendar. So there's no way anyone should be reading any New Testament scripture and then using American standards or straight Roman or pagan standards to interpret the New Testament. So let's keep going. All right. So 3 days and 3 nights. Now give me Deuteronomy 21, verse 22. All right. So Deuteronomy 21, verse 22. Let's get it. So it says right here, it says, if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, he shall be put to death. Thou shalt hang him on a tree. His body shall not remain all night upon the tree, but thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. The land be not defiled, which the Almighty thy Yah giveth thee for an inheritance. So whenever we hung someone, after we hung someone, before sunset hit, you had to take him down before sunset hit, before the end of the day hit, that the land don't be defiled. That's what the Almighty said. This is a commandment. you know. And so we're going to get onto this because now we're going to deal with when Christ was crucified and when Christ rose again. So let's get into that. And we could go in depth. I'm just going to scratch the surface because I could go in depth. Even when Mary, what they fight, oh, upon the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene came, and and they use that to justify Sunday resurrection, whatever. But let's keep going. So give me John chapter 19, Gospel John chapter 19. And we're going to start at verse 23. John chapter 19, verse 23. Let's get it. Then the soldiers, when they had crucified Yeshua, they took his garment and made 4 parts, every soldier a part, and also a coat. Now the coat was without seam, woven from the top throughout. And they said among themselves, let us not rend it, but cast lots for it, who it shall be, that the scripture might be fulfilled, that saith, they parted my raiment among them, for my vesture they did cast lots. These things therefore the soldiers did. Now therefore stood up by the cross of Yeshua, his mother, and we're going to deal with the cross too today. But anyways, and his mother, sister Mary, the wife of Cleophas, and Mary Magdalene. And when Yeshua saw his mother and his disciples standing by, whom he loved, he said unto his mother, Woman, thy son. And then said unto his disciple, Behold thy mother. And from that hour the disciples took her in his own home. After this, Yeshua, knowing that these things were accomplished, published. Now there was a vessel full of vinegar, and they filled the sponge with vinegar and put it to hyssop and put it to his mouth. And when Yeshua had received the vinegar, he said, It is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. Then then the Jews, therefore, because the preparation of the preparation that the for that Sabbath day was a high Sabbath, which is the first day of Feast of Unleavened Bread, because you got the Passover. He died on the Passover, and right when the Passover ends, starts the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is a high Sabbath. So they knew that the high Sabbath was coming. What happened? The high Sabbath, they besought that the legs should be broken and that they might be taken away. Because what happens, that he got crucified on the Passover, but what's going to happen at evening? Not only the high Sabbath is happening, but we read in Deuteronomy, right? You can't leave someone hung on the tree overnight, lest the whole land be defiled. There's a reason why he had to be taken off of the stake before the Sabbath, before that day ended. So they came to him and say, tomorrow's the high Sabbath, and he can't be hung on this tree. This is why, even though the people that were still on the stake were still alive, they broke their legs. They just didn't die that day. But we can't let you be hung overnight. We can't do that. The whole land's going to be defiled. So they broke the dude's legs. So let's keep going. And they came to the first and to the other that was crucified with them. But when they came, Yeshua, they saw that he was dead already, and they break his legs. The reason why he was so let's keep going. Now go ahead and uh give me Mark chapter 15. Mark chapter 15, and we're gonna go with verse 33. Yeah, Mark chapter 15, verse 33. And when the 6th hour, this is when Christ was crucified once again. And when the 6th hour was come, there was darkness upon the whole land until the 9th hour. And the 9th hour is roughly 3 o'clock in the afternoon, according to around 3 in the afternoon. Let's keep going. Thigh, which is to be interpreted them stood, and when they heard it, they said, "Behold, he calleth Elias," or Elijah. And one ran and filled the sponge with vinegar and put the reed and gave it into a drink, saying, "Let alone, let us see whether Elias will come and take him down." And Yeshua cried with a loud voice and gave up the ghost. And the veil of the temple was rent in the twain of the top and the bottom. And when the centurion stood over against him and saw that he so cried out, he gave up the ghost. He said, "Truly, this man was the Son of the Most High." And there was also a woman looking from afar off, who was Mary Magdalene, and Mary the mother of James, less and of them. Now, when the evening was come, right? Remember, you got to take the body off. When the evening was come, because the preparation, that is the day before the Sabbath, the high Sabbath, not the regular Sabbath, the high. That means that these false Christians are even wrong already, because then it wouldn't be Good Friday, but they don't know what that means. He's dealing with the high Sabbath, the feast of unleavened bread. Let's keep going. Joseph, which also waited for the kingdom of the Almighty, came and went boldly unto Pilate to crave the body of Yeshua. And Pilate marveled if he were dead already, and calling unto the centurion, asked whether he had been a while dead. And when he knew it of the centurion, he gave the body to Yeshua. So, and he got him and bound him up and whatnot. So once again, they took him off the stake before the Sabbath was ended. They took him off the stake before the Sabbath was ended. So this is what they say: Good Friday and Easter resurrection. Once again, it says 3 days and 3 nights. So let's say they say Good Friday. So Friday at sunset to Saturday at sunset is one day. Remember, evening to evening, not Gregorian time. Saturday at sunset to Sunday at sunset, that's 2 days. Sunday at sunset to Monday at sunset, that's 3 days. So if they truly believe in Good Friday, that will take them to Monday. It'd be 3 nights and 3 days. Or destroy this temple, and in 3 days I shall raise it up. So even their math, resurrection, he says he's not here. He came on the first day of the week, and he's like, he's not here, he risen already. Oh, he must have rose today. Or maybe he rose on the Sabbath. You ever consider that? Maybe he rose on the Sabbath. So when it deals with the Sabbath and the high Sabbath, every year it doesn't land on the same time. Just like your birthday doesn't land on the same day every single year. So these feast days do not land. We're not like the Gregorians, where we make their Thanksgiving always land on a Thursday, or you make your Easter always land on a Sunday. That's not how the Almighty set up his time. Your birthday lands when it lands. You don't make your birthday land every single Friday because you was born on a Friday, and so every Friday of the third week of the month of this month, that's when your birthday is. You don't do that for your birthday, but they do this for their pagan days. They do this for their Thanksgiving and for all the other. That's how they do. Let them do what they do. The saints of the Most High, we do what we do, and we live holy and we live righteous. So, uh, they say the gospel is the death, burial and the resurrection of the Messiah. Oh, the gospel, the death, burial, and resurrection. But you don't have the death and the burial correct. You don't even have the resurrection correct. You don't. What do you have right? You're off. Just your math is off. Your math is off. So, dealing with that whole foolishness, Good Friday, dealing with the foolishness of Easter resurrection. And like I said, I really don't want to waste too much time. We already know the Bible has nothing to do with no bunnies, has nothing to do with no Easter eggs. Bunnies don't even lay eggs. Like, I don't know where they get this fool. Oh, let's hide some stuff. And yeah, it's cool, colorful colors, spring colors, and the kids have fun. But the kids can have fun sinking the Most High. You know what I'm saying? The kids have fun. Have your kids watch Many Saints that we push out. Sister Winnie pushes out some content for the children. And it's art projects and it's participation. There's other things they could do to have fun. Why not make your own thing that you do? Like, I want to do this thing with my son. I want to go camping. It'll just be me and him. And sometimes we're going to go in bad weather or good weather, maybe once a year. and we just go out there 3 days, no TV, no nothing. And then pretty soon we do it every single year. We go hunting, get the bow, we go hunting, and he gets his son, and he gets his son, and he gets his son. And through 4, 5, 6 generations, it might just be me just old and I'm just following my son, and he has his son, and he has his grandson, and we just do our thing. And I make my own family tradition. I don't need to follow no tradition, especially if you Hebrew, of no oppressor. You don't need to tell me that I need to chase no Easter egg bunnies. Man, we've been celebrating their Easter. We've been celebrating their Thanksgiving, and we still get persecuted. At what point, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make this service about Hebrews. At what point do you realize no matter what you do, you will not be accepted in this land? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to probably deal with that tomorrow. But saying that, we don't need no sinner to tell me when do I celebrate. My stuff got stripped when I came here off those ships. My name, my history, my culture, my dress, Easter, your Thanksgiving, your Valentine's Day. I'm supposed to receive any of that stuff? I'm good. I'm good. You could keep that. You could keep that. I'm going to just keep the Holy Scriptures, because this is what every person on this planet needs to do. You need to line up to the Holy Scripture, no matter what nationality you are, no matter what country you're from. So going back to this, let's deal with a little bit of this. We'll deal with the cross first. We'll deal with the cross. Once again, this is from this book, Come Out of Her. And all these links, I could give you the links of the lexicons in the Bible dictionaries that they pull their information from. And these are from the original translation before it even came to the King James. So let's deal with the cross. The cross. I'm going to just read the highlights. Another later render in the tradition of the church which our fathers have inherited was the adoption of the word cross and crucify. These words are nowhere to be found in the Greek or of the New Testament. These words were mistranslation, a later rendering of the Greek word steros or stero. Vine's expression. Actually get this Vine's dictionary or look it up online. Word means steros, denotes primarily from an upright pole or stake, which this is what they had. They were hung on a stake. None of this foolishness. No, none of that. Let's keep going. Both the noun and the verb steros, to fasten to a stake or a pole. Crosses were so we know he was not crucified on no little cross. So all that Catholic, all those crosses on those churches is not even lining up with the Holy Scriptures. Let's keep going. Crosses were used as a symbol of the Babylonian sun god. It should be stated that Constantine was a sun god worship. The evidence of thus compliment that the Lord was put to death upon an upright stake and not two pieces of timber placed at any angle. So that didn't happen. So the whole word cross, we're going to start using stake or pole. You know what I'm saying? We're going to start getting more and more biblical with how we read this Bible. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come up higher. He says he'll lead you, guide you all truth. Now let's deal with the origin of Passover. I mean, not Easter, I'll say. Not Passover, Easter. Let's go here. Let's do it here. The case for the yearly Easter Sunday was held in common with the case of the weekly Sunday. Origen wrote, the resurrection of the Master is celebrated not only once a year, but constantly every 8 days. So every Sunday they were celebrating Easter. And this explains why Catholics, they do the cup communion every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Some of those Roman Catholics, they do the Lord's Supper every Sunday and whatnot, right? But let's keep going. It says, while the Jews faithful to Moses sacrificed the Passover lamb once a year, we men of the new covenant celebrate our Passover every Sunday. Pope Innocent I wrote. So this is when the Roman Catholics first came on the scene and they pushed this Easter resurrection. This is what the Pope wrote. This is what the people that started Easter, right? Let's keep going. We celebrate Sunday because it is of the venerable resurrection, not only at Easter, but every Sunday. So once again, dealing with sun worship, dealing with pagan stuff. This is where this whole Easter foolishness came of being. There's other paganism things you could put with Easter. I didn't want to really use a whole Feast of Unleavened Bread crushing this. I just want to show you why Easter and the Passover is Easter and uh the straight cross is wrong. Good Friday is wrong. It's not biblical. It comes from pagan history, sun god worship. Be careful. You know, we want to make sure we worship the Almighty of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because when people like the word God, you know, some people don't like using God. God is the title. I don't see nothing wrong with using God. Rather, a person at an AA meeting says higher power. We know exactly what they mean. They mean the creator of all things. They just don't have a name or a title. Higher power. For people to fight the word God. Okay, oh, God, well, we call him Almighty. That's a title. The creator of all things. That's a title. So when they came and they wanted to know which God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is the person, this is the one I'm talking about. You could be dealing with Zeus and Thor and Poseidon. You could be dealing with some other deities, some demonic deities, you know, which they are eternal. You know what I'm saying? So they are a lowercase God, such as we. We are lowercase gods. We are eternal. We cannot be destroyed. This body, your soul will either go into the everlasting paradise because we're made in his image. He made us gods. He says, I judge us among the gods. We are lowercase God. Our soul is eternal, not this flesh. Our soul is eternal. So it goes someplace. It does not cease to exist. So they worship these deities, right? They worship these deities. So it's like, oh, I serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Oh, that's who you. That's why the titles with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob to let you know exactly which God we're talking about. So let's give the shout outs real quick, and then we're going to quite a bit. Praise the Almighty. Christian Cannon, Jason Cole, Yiska, Amanda Yandley, Shawana Sean Lilly, Ariel Benito, Mari Munya, Jay Nijabo, Velasky, Teza Mawaguzi. I'm messing you guys' stuff up pretty bad. John Kuchuki, Zahara Katura. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I want you guys to make it into the kingdom. Praise the Almighty. I'm gonna read if you guys got some comments or whatnot. Let the scriptures do the talking. Praise the Almighty for you. Cool. Vince, all right, they back on the scene. Internet must be working. All right, okay. Praise the Almighty. Go ahead and give me Acts chapter 12. Acts chapter 12, starting at verse 1. Acts chapter 12, verse 1. Acts chapter 12, verse 1. Praise the Almighty. Let's get it. Now, about the time Herod the king stretched forth his hand to vex certain of those, he proceeded further to take Peter. Then were the days of unleavened bread. You know, why would he give reference to that if they have no importance? But let's keep going. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and deliver him to the four quaternions and the soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Now, he was going to kill him, right? Now, in this context of Easter, when you look this up, this is before the Romans came and took Easter and did all this stuff. In this context, this is what pagan or Greek people called our feast of unleavened bread. That's what they called our feast. They called it Easter. Now, the word Easter kind of changed, kind of like Jew. Jew could be reference to a religion, and Jew could be reference to. In this context, Easter, when you look this up in the Strong Concordance, is the Greek name for Passover. And I'm not saying Easter's Passover, because our Passover already passed. People get this confused when I say this. Easter is not Passover. Yes, I understand that. Our Passover, we are about to be on the last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Our Passover hit last week, and their Easter is about to hit tomorrow, all right? I understand that. But back in this day, before Roman Catholics did their sun god deity and whatnot, when Christ still came on the scene, there was no Roman church taking Easter and making all this foolishness with it. This is what the Greeks call that. Oh, there's their Easter. We call it Passover. Maybe they didn't speak the same language and they didn't try to say it exactly how we said the Passover in Hebrew and whatnot, right? So, high Sabbath, you follow me, right? This is why Herod, which was a non-Jew, wanted to kill Peter. But he says, I can't do it. I can't do it on Easter. I'll kill him after Easter because it's the Jews' Easter, or it's the Jews' Passover, it's the Jews' Feast of Unleavened Bread. Out of respect for these Jews' Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is the high Sabbath, the first day of Feast of Unleavened Bread, I'm not going to put them to death on that day because they can't participate on that because it's a high Sabbath. Just like we just read. Easter couldn't amend resurrection right here because if I'm killing James and I'm going to kill Peter because you're preaching the resurrection, but I'm not going to kill you on Easter because I believe in the resurrection. That would make no sense. I'm killing you because you're preaching Yeshua HaMashiach in the resurrection. That's why I'm killing you. So why would I have respect for Easter resurrection if I'm killing you because you preach Christ being crucified and resurrection of the dead? But because this Easter in this context was a name for the Passover, is what Greeks called the Passover. This is before Romans came on the scene and took this word and went all out with it, right? That we just read in this book, right? He said, hey, you know what's the high Sabbath? I'm not going to kill him on that day. I'll wait until after their feast is over, then I'm going to kill Peter. There's no way in this Bible you will see that this word Easter has anything to do with the resurrection of the Most High. I don't even know where Christians got that. He says he was going to kill Peter, but he waited till after Easter. Where do you get that even means the resurrection? Where do you get that concept? You know, even if someone wanted to be more biblical, they could have said, yeah, Easter happened. You know, I'm Greek, you know what I'm saying? And Easter happened last week. You know what I'm saying? Easter happened last week, you know. Saturday at sunset to Sunday at sunset, Easter happened. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, whoa, why you say that? Oh, well, Easter's a Greek name for the Passover, and that's just what we call the Passover, so that already happened. I could even say that. I wouldn't use the word Easter because the Gentiles took that word, or these false people took that word and ran with it with their false deity and whatnot, so I wouldn't even call the Passover Easter. But that will be more biblical to say, yeah, Easter already passed. I don't know why they're trying to celebrate Easter tomorrow. And Easter don't even happen on every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why they do that. That will actually line up with more of this book of Acts than to say Easter resurrection. There is no such thing as an Easter resurrection. There's no way he was Easter, because if Easter means the Passover and he died on the Passover, how was he resurrected and he died the same day? That wouldn't be 3 days and 3 nights. So leave that stuff alone. Dealing with some stuff, all pagan worship, you got to watch out. My Hebrew people, I love you guys. Your guys' star, your 6-point star, is not the Star of David. That's the Star of Rephaim. It's in Amos. It's in Acts. Leave that star alone. You guys' false pictures of the Messiah. It says, don't bear a false witness. If he doesn't look exactly like that to the T, then you're a false witness. You're not even supposed to make pictures of the Messiah. Leave that stuff alone. The Lion of the tribe of Judah, when you make a lion with a crown on it to represent the Messiah, you messing up. That's lion worship. Leaving, you're with the graven image. All those crosses, the doves, the praying hands, any pictures of angels. Don't even make the Ark of the Covenant. You're not a Levite, and you're not of the high priest of Aaron, so you shouldn't even know what that looks like. Don't be making no cherubim, seraphims. Don't be making none of that. Leave that stuff alone. All that stuff, leave that stuff alone. Don't be having no dirt devil vacuums, no Nike shoes, no Nike shoes. Look up Nike. No Nike shoes, no Goddess of Victory. Leave that foolishness alone. No Casberry cream eggs. They be tasting pleasurable. See, you know what I'm saying? The Casberry cream eggs, that was my jam back in the day. But anyways, now leave that Easter stuff alone. All that stuff. It don't even have to be the Easter pagan worship. All that stuff. We walk by faith and not by sight. I don't need anything tangible. Remember Thomas, unless I see the print in his hands, unless I see the pierce in his ribs, I'm not going to believe. And he came and says, check out my hand. Check out my ribs. It says, you know what? Blessed are thou who seen and believe, but more blessed are those who have not seen and believe, and yet believe. And that's where we are. This is our generation. We have not seen these miracles. We just have faith that it happened. We have the same faith that Abraham. Hey, I'm going to give you a land that you don't even know. Get out. Go. And you just walk out with faith. You never even seen the miracles that the Almighty could do, but he just went out in faith and he believed the Most High. And that's the same thing with us. I don't need anything tangible. I don't need to see anything. Just give me these holy scriptures, and my faith will carry me the rest of my way to the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Serve the Most High. Leave all the lake of fire playing around with some foolishness. When you go to these swap meets, spirits is with that stuff. Leave that stuff alone too. You don't know what. Oh man, look at this statue, or look at this picture, or look at some of that stuff. Just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Leave that stuff alone. You don't need to be attracted to none of that. Some of you guys playing these video games. Some of these video games. I used to watch this TV show called Full Metal Alchemist, and you know they did the little circle with the star in there, and I was like, man, I gotta leave that alone. But it was pleasurable. There's some of these video games. Straight witchcraft, straight sorcerer, all the little Raid Shadow Legends. I seen the commercial Raid. Oh, Raid Shadow Legends. Oh, I might want to jump on that while I'm waiting at the DMV or something, whatnot. But once again, there's some sorcerers on it. I'm good. I don't need you to be playing around and you're conjuring spirits and whatnot on the video game. I don't need to practice no witchcraft, video game or in real life. I'm good. You can have it. Once Satan puts his patent on it, his stamp, oh, you can have it. I don't need it. I got the Most High. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Really let that stuff go. Keep yourself from idols. Keep yourself pure. Be separated. When the Son of Man comes, it says, will he find faith on earth? Will he find faith, people still standing up and believing in his ways? When he find people still obeying, still living separate, holy, just, righteous, showing the love, really showing the love. Second commandment, you know, really loving thy neighbors, you love thyself. So praise the Almighty. You guys got any questions? Any questions out there? No questions? So he was in a tree. Is a stake or a pole. I want to say he was in a tree. You know what I'm saying? They did hang people on a tree. We see that during Joshua's time. They took a tree and they hung them. You know what I'm saying? They hung them on a tree. You just had to take them. So it was no cross. We're not saying the word cross anymore. We're not going to say the word crucified. We're going to leave those things alone. You know what I'm saying? We're going to use the word stake and pole. At least true Hebrews United. People that love the truth, stake and pole. Once again, I'm just showing you the highlights of this, book. Um, but if you read it, it'll show you all the references. And I actually cross-referenced a lot of these things because a lot of these Vine's dictionary and a lot of these exhaustive dictionaries or thesaurus or whatnot, you could look up online now, and then you could see exactly where they pull their information. And these dictionaries were going to the root of the original translations of the Bible before even the King James came out. And so, yes, there is some mistranslations in here. They could have translated things better, and they didn't, whether intentionally or whether unintentionally. You know, that happens all the time. Whether, you know, I know a little bit of German and I'm trying to translate for someone, and I may not, you know, use the same words, or I may not do an accurate translation to another language. I can see how stuff could get lost. But the Almighty will lead us and guide us to all truth. And so through that, we're going to learn this other stuff. We're going to start changing. We're going to start learning Hebrew a little bit at a time, a little bit of words at a time. We're going to start taking these pagan words out, putting the real meanings in. Praise the Almighty. All right. All right, cool. Yeah, the whole lion worship. Yup, that's what they do. Lion of the tribe of Judah. You see them? A lot of Hebrews do that. A lot of Hebrews do that, lying, and they make the Messiah a lion. Like, leave it alone. I was telling the couple of days ago, when you go to some person and you say, oh, be careful with that guy. That guy's a snake. I don't really literally paint a picture of him being a snake. He's going to try to get over me on money. He's trying to get at my girl when I'm gone, or he's going to try to lie or deceive. He's going to try to get over on me. He's a snake. You know what I'm saying? When you say, "Hey, that guy's sly like a fox," you're just using an animal to describe a behavior. So when you use the Almighty as a lion, he's the king of the jungle. He's a king. He has the mane. You know what I'm saying? He's a king. That describes who the Messiah is, a characteristic trait of the Almighty. When you say the Almighty, all the time, the Almighty is a strong tower. Do we make pictures of strong towers? Oh, that's the Almighty, a strong tower. Yeah. Why don't they do that? The Almighty is a rock. He's my shield. They be making pictures of shields? For some reason, they pick and choose which picture. It says it gives a lot of times. What does the shield do? It defends you. The Almighty is our defense. The Almighty is a strong tower. The Almighty is a wall. The Almighty, you get what I'm saying? So he says he's the Lion of the tribe of Judah. He's the king. He's a king. You don't make a picture of a lion and put a crown on him. You don't make a picture of a lion and say that's the Messiah right there. They did that with what happened? Almighty passed them through the Red Sea. They made up a golden calf and say, these be the gods that got us out of the land. Once again, they make some animal and attribute that to the Almighty, and then now they're in idolatry. So in the new covenant, these camps, Judah, and now you just made the Messiah a lion. Why did you do that? Why did you have to have something tangible? Why can't you just walk by faith and not by sight? And once again, they always have to have something they could touch. Those things to believe in his word. Oh, those people, they be doing, they crossing their hands, they be kissing that little piece of metal. I ain't even gonna do it. You know what those Catholics be doing? Talking about, nah, I don't need to do none of that. I don't need to go through nothing, kiss no nothing. Nah, forget that foolishness. No, I'm good. I'm good with that. I don't need nothing tangible. So hopefully that is a blessing to you guys. But what's so funny, you guys? Cool. Tomorrow, I kind of want to. What's some stuff you guys want to talk about? There's a couple of topics. I kind of want to talk about not with some scriptures, some off-topic scriptures on how I have like a theory. Now in Joshua, he says he I want to just pass through, man. I'll eat my own bread. We'll buy our thing. And so when it says we'll be the lowest of all people, the Almighty has hardened these people's hearts. And why do we keep trying to seek peace with nations or people that the Almighty has hardened their heart? And yes, on an individual basis, there was individual basis like the Underground Railroad. There are white people that snuck us under their house. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white people that went in the courtroom and fought for them and stuff. So, you know, there was times in the Bible where Gentiles helped Israel. I see that, rather the one that visit David and whatnot. I see that, but I definitely feel that we are trying to be at peace with people who the Almighty has hardened their heart. The only way we'll be the lowest of all people is if all other nation has hardened their heart against us. It's not that we don't apply ourselves. It's not that we just don't like to work. It's not that we're just not applying ourselves. Because the let's say this nation, for example, they don't come hard on the Asian community, and thus the Asian community succeeds and surpasses us. They don't come hard on the Chaldean community. They don't come hard on the Ethiopian community. And thus these communities have their stores, have their restaurants, have their businesses, and they explode. But every place we go, brother, I go to Belize. If you're got color in Belize, man, hey, it's discrimination. And no, it's not like here because they're Belizean is more understand. Like we really gotta in any people are not gonna like you because you're bearing witness of the light. You know what I'm saying? So quit trying to be accepted by people who the Almighty has hardened their heart. And that's kind of what I wanted to jump into some scriptures and show the parallel from the old covenant to the new covenant and really see, you know, why we go through certain things and why we keep making mistakes trying to be at peace with countries, no matter where you are, with the Almighty's not allowing that. There's a reason why. You know, look at us now. Weren't we better when there was racism? Wasn't there more black owned businesses? Didn't we support more black owned businesses? Didn't we treat each other better? But as soon as we intermingled with other nationalities, look what happened. Look what happened. I had a story. There was a story. The lady, Hebrew, young lady, she was ignorant. And when I say ignorant, my definition of ignorant is when you get in a disagreement and I'm at odds with you and you're at odds with me. I tell you my viewpoint and you rationalize that, or you take the information in, you know, observe it, and then come back with your rebuttal. But the end goal is for us to come to a conclusion. Like, hey man, you lost my tool, man. You broke my tool, man. You got to pay for my tool. And you're like, yeah, I did break it, but it was used. So I'll give you half, or I'll give you 80% because it was used. It was already worn and down, and yeah, I did break it. And so you might have differences over that, but you're giving your viewpoints and you're trying to come to a conclusion. But with the ignorant person, it says those people that just want to argue. They're not even trying to come to a conclusion. So when you're trying to say, hey, how is this? Oh, yeah, this, and they're not trying to hear nothing, anything. But when they're ignorant and in their mind, they're right in their own mind, they're going to cut you off and not say nothing. So there's this ignorant girl. You know what I'm saying? After he tried to deliver his people, he came, he's like, brother, why are you guys fighting each other? We have these Egyptians are oppressing us. We have a greater enemy and you're fighting each other. And what did you make ruler over us? Who made you ruler over us? Pretty much they said, worry about yourself. And that's what or more. But every Hebrew has this worry. Like, is this what it is? There's no way Hebrews are going to survive in the U.S. if it's like that. We done for. I say you need to get out anyways. But I'm like, man, it bothers me that. And then you couldn't even talk sense into her because she was so ignorant that she just cut you off this and this, that, and that. She was right in her own mind. It does. And not on a racist. Some of my best buddies is white people. One of my best buddies is from the Hell's Angels. So I'm serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just ain't racist, but he's in the Hell's Angel. So we're better off without, because soon as we got on tangent. So bear with me. I've been seeing the face. They say, I don't like it how my people come to me and say, how can you fight for that country? How can you join the army and this and that whatnot? And it's like, you know what? I'm here fighting for the liberties, the liberty. So I want to go to them. I said, really? So people in that uniform helped us not helped us to where we didn't have to get our food in the back of the restaurant. And so those restaurants that said no colors allowed, people in that uniform fought for that. Or did we fight for our liberties? Everything we got as a Hebrew, we fought for ourselves. No one in that uniform. What about people in that uniform that bombed us in Black Wall Street? What about people in that uniform when we went and we joined and fought the Vietnam War and we come back to a country that says no colors allowed? No one in that uniform fought for our liberties. So for you to be a black person in the army or any service and saying you're fight for the liberties that I have freedom of speech, white people already had freedom of speech. They did their Boston Tea Party. They already fought their war when Britain and Europe tried to come back and retake the colonies. They fought for their freedom. We're the ones that don't have. We had to fight for our individual freedoms. So where do you get you're joining the army and why are you fighting for a nation that does not receive you? Why? Once again, the Almighty has hardened all these nations on these planets' heart. Book of Revelation. All these nations' heart is hardened against Israel. We will be the lowest of all people on an entirety. It says these are signs upon his people till he comes. It says these curses will be upon you forever. So no matter how many wars you fight, no matter how many times black people celebrate Valentine's Day and Memorial's Day and President's Day and do this and Thanksgiving, you will still be the N-word. You will not excel as an entirety of a nation. Individuals, yes. Individuals. As a nation, it will not happen. You will not defeat the curse. And especially when you run across this sister that says, we got to mind our own business. That's what they said to Moses. Peace is Pharaoh. Pharaoh is trying to kill all the firstborn, right? The police is trying to incarcerate all of us. The police is trying to get away with murdering unarmed Hebrews, right? So I'm going to the sister like, sister, we're only 12% of the population. In the population, that don't even matter. This and that. She was just super ignorant. Like you want to just smack them because they're so ignorant. Like because they're like they can't gather information, examine information, and even if you have a rebuttal, it's to come to a conclusion, not just to argue, just to argue. Some people just want to argue for the sake of argument, not to come. If I argue with my wife, it's because, man, I don't like A, B. Comes back and says, well, this and this and this. And I'm like, oh, I didn't consider that. Or, yeah, I see your point, but this. Or, you get what I'm saying? This is a back and forth, and we're trying to come to a conclusion. We don't argue for just the sake of argument. That makes zero sense. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call it. But when they're ignorant, they just like arguing. They just want to walk out and be victorious. I don't even know what goes on. I don't know. Pride, arrogancy, whatever. But back to what I'm saying is, like, we have this. Black white privilege, how people fight that. White people got 50%. Okay, right? Same resume. This is what they did this time, right? They upped it. So they put more experience instead of 3 years experience, more experience, better colleges. They upped the resume, right? The white people got even more calls than what they did with the less resume. The colleges was a community, now it's Stanford or something. They got even more calls. But they put the white person with the felony and the black person didn't. The white person still got more calls than the black person without a felony. And they did this at different places. They did this at different places. And that's not even the study with insurance, student loans, the interest for car loans, the interest for house loans. Companies to hire lawyers. They put intentional grammatic flaws and factual flaws in both of them. Same exact black name, white person name. They found 50% less flaws in the white resume, but they found way more flaws in the black resume. Even though it's the same resume, the grade scale for a white person was a 4 out of 5. For one, it was a 3.5 out of 5. So they graded them more harsher. So when people say that, oh, white privilege doesn't exist, the system is not made for Hebrews to succeed in this land. It's not made for us to succeed anywhere on this planet, because the Bible prophecy is Bible prophecy. It says these curses will be upon you forever until the Almighty comes. He's going to come for his people, and he's going to give us our kingdom. We're going to be in our kingdom. We're going to get Israel back. We're going to be in Israel. And these Jews that say they're not, but really the synagogue are saying he's going to destroy these people. We're going to get Israel back. And then all these nations will bring us resources. From what Bible prophecy, Israel will be the world's tithes and offering. Essentially. And if that makes any sense. So back to my point is, why are we trying to get validation from these people? The Almighty has hardened these people's heart. No matter what you do, you will not be accepted. Joshua came in the land and was like, maybe I won't teach on it because I kind of dealt with it today. Joshua came in the land and was like, hey, man, let us just pass through, dude. We'll buy our own food. We'll buy our own water. All we trying to do is just pass through. The Almighty hardened their heart. Those people made ready for war. They end up fighting them, and Joshua defeated them. Moses defeated them, and bam, they end up taking their land. But they was trying to be at peace. When we join these people's wars and we celebrate their days and we dye our hair and get red lipstick, oh, it's okay, you could do that. Why would you? Forget you and your validation. My validation comes from the Most High. That's the mindset we need to have. All my validation comes from the Most High. I don't care about us. We're going to serve the Most High. We're going to live holy. We're going to live just. Oh, culture. That's what we do. I don't care about your American culture. I don't care about your German culture or your Russian culture. What I care about. I don't expect you to accept me, and I don't want your acceptance. I'm just making my chips and I'm dipping. You know what I'm saying? And really have that mindset, then who cares? At the end of the day, if you respect yourself, they will respect you. But when you keep trying to have them the bar, we need to go out of our way to prove that black people aren't thugs. And no, you think what you think. I don't care what you think. You don't set the bar of validation. There's no way I'm going to live my life trying to be validated by other nationalities. So I have to go out of my way and I have to work harder and I have to prove myself as a Hebrew that I'm not a thug. No, forget you. I don't got time for that. I'm not a thug because I serve the Most High. I don't lie because I serve the Most High. I don't steal because I serve the Most High. I live righteous. I live just. I try to be the best I could be as a man because I serve the Most High, because I fear the Most High, because I keep his commandments, I keep his ways. If you don't respect it, kick rocks. You're going to hell anyways. Half these people is going to the lake of fire anyways. Why do we care about appeasing them? They on their way to the lake of fire. You know what I'm saying? Going to hell. Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Really having that mindset, like really important on me when you on your way to hell. I answered a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Probably too long, but hopefully that was a blessing. Started friend requesting people ain't gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? But if a person, a stranger, you want to keep the commandments, you fully trying to repent, you trying to do what's right. Israel might be saved. It sucks that my people, my people, we sucking. I go in the gym sometimes and I say what's up to my people though. And they get tense and I'm like, oh, just saying what's up to my kin folks. And they're like, oh, that's what's up. And I actually bring unity in the gym. So now all the brothers doing their own thing. But then when I come through and these other nationalities kind of see, because I just be in the gym doing my own thing. As soon as I see a brother, I go out of my way. I'm like, oh, what's up? And they see, I'll say what's up to every brother in the gym. And then I get back on my workout. I make my rounds. They know what's up. Like, hey, yeah, I'm from for your people. You whites, you for your people. Everyone's for our people but us. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's for our people but us. So it's like, nah, man. If that's my little step I could do is to bring, hey, especially the sisters that have an afro or a sister that has a standing and keeping our culture, standing and letting your hair be a natural. You know what I'm saying? Not blinding it, having your hair blonde. You know what I'm saying? Not wearing red lipstick. We don't blush. Our lips don't get red. That's not a Hebrew thing. That's a other light-skinned people thing. When they blush or get aroused or whatnot, their lips get red or whatnot, and they try to put more emphasis. Let other nationalities, let them do them. Let us do us. We have afros. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Let us do us. You know what I'm saying? Forget them. They got their culture. They got their beliefs. They got their. Let them do them. You know what I'm saying? We do us. So shit with these brothers and sisters that serve in the Most High. Whether on Facebook or YouTube, you never know what they're going through, whether depression, whether marital problems, whether children problems. Try to be there for brothers and sisters. Don't just think about your own life. With all that said being done, keep standing. Don't drop stands. Get the almighty hand clap. Shalom.